Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the end of the video? This is another paid request, this time for Alban. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, it could be review, topic, reaction, re-review, commentary, list, ranking, pretty much whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both of those links are down below in the info box, pretty much under each of these videos. Now, Alban wanted my opinion on what are my top 15 favorite films of 1983, which is interesting because that was the year I was born. In fact, I was born on the day I believe Return of the Jedi came out, May 25th. So I'm a Return of the Jedi kid. So, while I was thinking about this list, I'm more into action films. I like horror, I like science fiction, but action is my number one favorite genre. So a lot of these lists, those type of films would be in my favorites. So, but as I thought about it, I went, do I put Return of the Jedi on the list? Because I do like it, but it's not a film I'd go back and rewatch either. So I would say it's a honorable mention. Same with Kroll with the glaive. That's an honorable mention. But as for number 15, I put Revenge of the Ninja. Revenge of the Ninja really helped get the whole ninja craze going in the United States. There was this other film called Enter the Ninja that came out from Canon Films, and that did well. And then Revenge of the Ninja, where Sho Tsuji was no longer a villain. He was playing a different character, and he got to be the lead. And Revenge of the Ninja, I mean, it wasn't like $100 million hit, but it made a bit of a buzz for Canon Films, and they're like, we gotta do more ninja films. Then that led to American Ninja, and that opened the floodgates of ninja films even more so. But Revenge of the Ninja, I had to put that on the list. That's one of... I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I remember back in the day, I had this faint memory of a VHS tape where, as a family, we would tape VHS movies where you went to the store, you got two VCRs, you put the one from the rental store, you put a blank one. Sometimes you had to put a piece of tape on the end of the VHS tape so it would actually record. Sometimes you had to do that. And sometimes you put 3, or if it was a short enough movie, maybe 4. I remember for the longest time, I had this faint memory of this weird, crazy opening where his family gets massacred. I'm like, I think like a little kid got like a ninja star to the face, and I thought I made it up, or it was a dream or a hallucination or something. And it wasn't until many, many, many years later I saw this film. I'm like, that's it. Like, that's the fucking movie. It was Sho Tsuji's Revenge of the Ninja. It's definitely, I think, the best. Ninja 3 is fun for what it is, but I think the beginning is the best part of that movie. Enter the Ninja, I'm not a fan of, really. This, I think, is the best of those 3. This is one of Canon Films' better movies. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when you get to the third act and the fantastical, where the evil ninjas have doubles of himself and shooting flames out of his wrists and all sorts of crazy stuff, it's pretty violent. Like I said, little kid gets a ninja star to the face in the first, like, 5 minutes of the movie. Excellent score. Excellent score. Very fun action film. If you like ninja movies, and you've never seen this, then you're missing one of the best ninja movies. Revenge of the Ninja is a lot of fun. Number 14, I put Videodrome in my top 3 favorite David Cronenberg movies. Yeah, there's a lot of deeper themes you could talk about, and many people talked about multiple times about Videodrome and what it says about consuming so much media and what it could do to you, your psyche, your brain. I enjoy it for those aspects, yes, but I also enjoy James Woods. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's one of the best actors we had in that time period. Always knocked out of the park, whether it be in Cat's Eye, whether it be in True Believer, later on, films like John Carpenter's Vampires. Sadly, you don't see much of him anymore as an actor, especially in bigger roles. And he was great to see him as the lead, and he had amazing special effects. The weird cancer gun, the TV that's bubbling over, the mark on James Wood's chest, and it like putting his hand through his own stomach. And I mean, if you haven't seen the film, you'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's definitely worth a watch. I mean, the ending, I don't know, but it's still a very effective film. And it's what Crimes of the Future, whatever the hell it was called, the new Cronenberg film tried to be, and it just wasn't. Same with Existence. That tried to be Videodrome. It just... You did it better in Videodrome. Number 13, I put Sudden Impact, one of the Dirty Harry films. I am a fan of Clint Eastwood. I'm a fan of the Dirty Harry movies. I like all of them. My personal favorite is Magnum Force, and then the Deadpool. Because, come on, you got Jim Carrey, you got Guns N' Roses, you got a little toy car chasing Clint Eastwood and his partner and their car. Just a little toy car has a bomb in it. I like the Deadpool. He goes your shit out of luck and harpoons a guy with like the biggest harpoon in existence. Deadpool's awesome. I don't care what anyone says. But I do like Sudden Impact. Sudden Impact's the one with Sandra Locke. Sandra Locke was with Clint Eastwood at the time. Then, depending on who you believe, you could say that once they split up, Clint Eastwood might have blackballed her career, which if he did, that's bullshit for anyone to do. So I don't know the details. But Sudden Impact is the movie where he says the famous line, "Go ahead, make my day." Great line. What was always interesting about the Dirty Harry films, how they have a plot, like they do have a central plot, but it's also a lot of Eastwood's character doing all these random, not random, but all these other little events that don't connect exactly to the main plot, but it shows that Harry does have a life as a cop. Like in the Deadpool, where he made the one gangster thug have a heart attack. So yeah, he's looking into these killings on this movie set, but there's also these guys want revenge for the death of their boss. And like Magnum Force, he's looking at this killings, which he finds are vigilante cops, but he's got all this other stuff he's dealing with as well as a day-to-day cop. Like all these other little set pieces to put in there. And, you know, Sudden Impact, I would say is my third favorite after Magnum Force and the Deadpool. And Sandra Locke, I thought, did a decent enough job, acting-wise. And it's such a great line. Go ahead, make my day. Number 12, Psycho 2, my favorite Psycho film. I could appreciate the first Psycho. I'm not really a fan of Psycho 3. It just kind of felt like a reheated leftover version of Psycho 2, but then some other attributes that I don't know. I don't think it brought enough to the table. Like, just, I don't know, other than Jeff Fahey. And then Psycho 4 was okay for what it is as a prequel. Psycho remake is dog shit. But Psycho 2 I enjoy. I thought the director, who's the same guy who directed WarGames, which I love, is Stacy Teach. He directed a variety of other movies. Sadly, he's passed away. I think he did a great job invoking the feel of Hitchcock. Anthony Perkins returned as Norman Bates. I thought he knocked it out of the park. Made me feel sorry for the character, and then you find out what's going on, and for the most part he was, in that movie I should say, innocent. There was other forces at work going on, and it made it kind of a weird, sympathetic, tragic character in a way. Plus, it being an '80s film, they ramp up the violence a little bit more. But yeah, and has a interesting ending involving a shovel. I'll say that. So I do like Psycho 2 quite a bit. Number 11, WarGames with Matthew Broderick. I mean, the idea I always thought was interesting to me. The whole very ahead of its time. I mean, a kid who's a computer hacker, which is kind of like what Ferris Bueller would be a few years later, hacking to change his grades in school. And he kind of does the same thing here to Ali Sheedy's school grades. But hacking in, I mean, if you say hack into the government and military, you go, yeah, that would happen. I mean, it's with all the hackers in the world, that will, people thought that was science fiction in 1983. So it was definitely ahead of its time on that aspect. And I liked the cast. I thought did a good job. Matthew Broderick worked well in this type of role. I know originally it was going to be the guy who directed. He would go on to direct Beverly Hills Cop, but there's some kind of issue. He got fired, and they got John Badham, who did another film this year, which be later on the list, higher on the list. And John Badham I enjoy. He did Stakeout, which that's still not on Blu-ray. He did The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox, Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta's film. Very capable, underrated director, because no one ever mentions John Badham, as those, great directors. But he has a pretty cool, like, pretty damn solid filmography when you look at it. But yeah, always enjoyed WarGames. Never thought of Tic-Tac-Toe the same way again after watching it. Number 10, I put Lone Wolf McQuade. It's Chuck Norris with the beard. Darren Damn to You, it's what inspired him to later on do Walker Texas Ranger. I remember hearing that he wanted to do this as the TV show, but he couldn't get the rights to McQuade. So it just changed it to Walker, and he's still a Texas Ranger, and there you go. So it definitely seems like a movie. Chuck Norris is very, like, it seemed like if you asked him his favorite films, this would be one he would put high on his list. Now, I do wish Chuck Norris would do interviews and talk about his films. Some people say he's never says yes, or others say he's never asked. I have to assume someone has asked him, and if he says no, then it's like, well, what's the deal? Maybe he doesn't want to talk about these. He's a Christian, and they were, violent films. I don't know the deal. I really don't. Scott Atkins, you're doing your action podcast. Get Chuck Norris on. There you go, Scott Atkins. I mean, you got Mark Dacascos, you got Jeff Speakman, Steven Seagal. Get Chuck Norris on there. Why not? Let's get Chuck Norris on the Art of Action. That'd be cool. You got Dolph Lundgren. Get Chuck Norris. But Lone Wolf McQuade goes up against David Carradine. I like the side characters. I forget the Leoniza Kennedy. I wish he was in it more. He was in the penitentiary movies. I wish he was in it more. He kind of appears, then he disappears for a good chunk, then he comes back, then he's one of our three heroes fighting the bad guys at the end. I wish he had a bit more to do. I do like his partner, Chuck Norris's partner. He would also be in Night of the Comet with Catherine Mary Stewart and, God, I'm bad with names tonight, the girl who was in Chopping Mall, Kelly Maroney. And I forget the guy's name, Robert. I want to say Robert something. But he was in that with Night of the Comet. He was also in Eating Raoul. He plays Chuck Norris's partner. I thought he was a good support. Great score. I love the whistle motif. Yeah, nice confrontation between him and David Carradine. Some nice gunplay. Like, it's definitely good 80s Chuck Norris movie. Number 9, DC Cab by the late great Joel Schumacher. People always gave that director hell because of Batman and Robin. I'm like, Batman and Robin sucks. It doesn't mean Joel Schumacher was just a bad director. If that's the case, then you're forgetting Falling Down. You're forgetting 8mm. You're forgetting A Time to Kill. You're forgetting The Lost Boys. You're forgetting a lot of movies. Phone Booth I really enjoy. This movie I think is a fun comedy. You got Adam Baldwin, who would be in Full Metal Jacket. You got Bit Wrong Predator 2. You got Mr. T himself. You got Paul Rodriguez. You got the Barbarian Brothers. I mean, come on. You got Gary Busey being nuts. You got Mr. T. You got the Barbarian Brothers. I mean, it's got a very fun cast. It's got a catchy musical score. That's a very entertaining movie, DC Cab. It feels like a movie that would be more R-rated, but maybe... I don't remember the rating for it. But it feels like it would have much more of a blue... How do I put it? Like more cursing, more of a... Not raunchy, but... I just keep thinking it felt like it should have been more... Felt like it was going to be more R-rated and some things changed. I don't know the details. I can't remember. Just there were not much features sadly on the Blu-ray. And that's a disappointment. There's I think a commentary. I don't remember what the hell they said. I don't even remember if the historians even liked the movie. But not really no interviews with anybody, which is sad. I would love to have heard Joel Schumacher talk about it before he passed away. Or hell, Mr. T talked about it. Adam Baldwin. I mean, hey, this is like what probably one of the... I don't know how many films Adam Baldwin actually starred in. What was that movie? He was in The Gang, 315, The Moment of Truth. I think he starred in that one. But I can't remember many other movies that he starred in, except those two. He was one of the stars of My Bodyguard. I think was that what it was called? I get that confused with the Michael Dudikoff Stephen Dorff film. But no, I think the one Adam Baldwin is called My Bodyguard. I think. I think it's the kid from the first Meatballs. See, this is the thing. When you get older, all these movies just too much runs together. But DC Cab, I think, is a lot of fun. Number 9, National Lampoon's Vacation, the original, directed by Harold Ramis, may rest in peace, with Chevy Chase. The family going to Wally World. Yeah, a fun, entertaining ending with John Candy. Rest in peace to him. We're gonna have so much fucking fun that I have to surgically remove our smiles out of our goddamn faces. Dad, don't touch! I mean, the best of the National Lampoon Vacation movies. I do like Christmas Vacation. I don't mind Vegas Vacation, but the first one's definitely the best. I mean, that starts out with that song, Holiday Road, and you know you're in for a good time. Fun road trip movie. One of those films that helped even more make Chevy Chase popular throughout the 80s. Then the 90s kind of dropped off, although I still really enjoy Nothing But Trouble. But that film bombed badly. Number 7, Jaws 3D. I know people are like, what? I like Jaws 3D. I still like Jaws 3. When I first saw the film, I did not know it was a 3D movie, because I saw it, it was on a VHS tape, and it was on CBS, I think. And because it's CBS, back sometime in the late 80s it was on CBS. It didn't have the 3D stuff in it, so which is actually the better way to watch the film, and I always enjoyed it. I still like the movie. It's my second favorite after Jaws 1. of the franchise. I don't mind Jaws 2, but I like Jaws 3 more. I think Jaws 3 has better pacing. I think Jaws 2 suffers from very boring teenage characters that you don't care about. Here, I did a coked up Dennis Quaid. I say that because, number one, I like Dennis Quaid. I'm a fan of his. Number two, he admits there was a film he was coked up every day, and it was Jaws 3. He admits that in an interview, like a talk show someone did. And yeah, Louis Gossett Jr. I like the lady. Almost says Cynthia Rose, but that's another movie. But I like the lead actress. I think they work well together. Her Bess Armstrong, her and Dennis Quaid, they work well together. I like the guy that plays Dennis Quaid's brother. I like the SeaWorld aspect and environment. I think the score is actually pretty well done. I think that it would have been better if they did not do the 3D and took that money and time and make some bigger set pieces and maybe more refined effects. Because the reason the shark looks so bad in that effect at the end is because they tried to do a 3D effect that maybe looks good in 3D, but you watch it at home and it's terrible. Now, I do have a fan cut where there's a better shark bit at the end, so I just watched that. But it is a movie where if you took out the 3D parts, it would be a better movie. And because, yeah, I like the music, I like the setup and the environment, I like the cast, I like the dolphins. I mean, there's a lot I like about that movie. It's not better than Jaws, it's not better than Deep Blue Sea, but of the amount of shark films out there, it's actually one of the more fun ones. Coked up Dennis Quaid. Fuck, the shark is probably coked up. Yeah, Louis Gossett Jr. I like Jaws 3. I'm proud to say I like Jaws 3. And it's nowhere near as bad as Jaws 4. I'm sorry, it's not. And number 6, here's another controversial. Superman 3. I like Superman 3. It goes Superman, Superman 3, and Superman 2. Fuck Superman 4. I like Superman 2, but the whole Superman losing his powers, it works well dramatically, but I can't say, even as a kid, I wasn't really interested in that aspect. I hate to say it, but I mean it works for what it's trying to do in this love story with Lois Lane, but I did what he did. Maybe even as a kid, I thought, oh, that's really selfish of him. But I did it as well. I did as well. So I don't know, just that whole section, when I watch Superman 2 again, like I said, it's good on a character basis, but at the same time, I'm like, the second film when he lost his powers, or he willingly took off his powers, just the second film. I mean, we just saw him start, and in the second film, he got rid of his powers. Which is kind of what they did in Spider-Man 2, where he didn't do it on purpose, but he was losing his powers. I'm like, is this the second film? Maybe the fourth film, maybe, but the second film? I still like Superman 2, but Superman 3 is definitely more cartoonish, but it has a more consistent tone. That's because Superman 2, you had Richard Donner directed, then they let him go. They didn't let him come back to finish, because they shot Superman 1 and a good chunk of Superman 2, and Richard Donner and the producer Sal Kynes did not see eye to eye. So when they did Superman 2 to finish it, because Superman 1 was such a hit, Richard Donner, you're not coming back, we got this guy. So you have a guy doing more comedy, to Richard Donner's more serious. I think the director had some fun, good stuff in Superman 2. General Zod, we care to step outside. I don't like the Richard Donner cut. I much prefer the theatrical cut. So that kind of makes what I was going to say not make sense. Because I just used to say the Richard Donner cut is more of a consistent tone, but Superman, the theatrical cut, I find more fun. So Superman 3 just find fun. I love Richard Pryor in it. I love the whole idea of the AI computer that just streamed out of a comic book. Yes, it's a Lex Luthor wannabe, but at least it's not just Lex Luthor again with Gene Hackman. Because of 4 films, he's in 3 of them. And I love Gene Hackman, but get some other people in there. And he did. While he did, he was pretty much Lex Luthor, but it was still Robert Vaughn. Nice to see someone different. And I love the whole evil Superman. Him being a dick. Shooting peanuts like bullets that break the window. That one guy with the Lean Tower of Pisa. You know, and Superman fucks with him. Moves it. Yeah! I love that guy. And then Superman fixes at the end as give me the broom and just smashes all his fucking statues. Because now it's the Lean Tower of Pisa again. Maybe a lot of it is nostalgia. But I still love Superman 3. It's goofy, but I find it highly entertaining. Now we get to the top 5. Number 5, Blue Thunder. Another John Badham film. Roy Scheider, my second favorite film of his after Jaws. 2010 Year Made Contest a close third. I mean, he's in The Punisher, Thomas Jane, but I mean like the ones he starred in. I would say Jaws, Blue Thunder, then 2010 Year Made Contest. But Blue Thunder, Roy Scheider teams with new recruit Daniel Stern. They test out this new helicopter that has high-tech surveillance. They hear stuff they're not supposed to know. And just excellent helicopter action sequences that would be very hard to do today. I mean, maybe if you were able to get away like Top Gun Maverick did, but like going through the city and you got explosions here and there, and you also have, oh, what's her name? She played the waitress in the Blob remake in 1988. She was in To the Winged Serpent. Good actress. Again, bad with names tonight. Yeah, Warren Oates in one of his last films. He was in Stripes. Yeah, Malcolm McDowell as the villain. Catch you later. I love Blue Thunder. And I think Roy Scheider did a great job. And I think it was a hit because it got a... Well, Airwolf, the TV show, was based on this. Guarantee it. And then after that, then there was a Blue Thunder TV show with David Spade and Bubba Smith and Dick Butkus, but it only lasted, a season or less. But Airwolf lasted, I don't know, four or 5 seasons, maybe 4 seasons. But Blue Thunder is a lot of fun. See, I keep mentioning that word fun because for the most part, that's why I want to go see movies, is because of fun. Yes, there are movies I enjoy for other reasons, but that's the number one thing I'm usually looking forward to in a movie. Number 4, Of Unknown Origin. Peter Weller and George P. Cosmatos, they would reteam later on Leviathan in 1989. George P. Cosmatos after this would work on Cobra and Rambo 2. Whether he directed them, some say Sylvester Stallone really directed them, but he still must have worked on them somehow because he did a great job here. You have some really good camera techniques where it's in between the walls and you really get a sense of the environment. And the movie is, Peter Weller's a guy who's uptight about his property, his environment, material things. He's got a wife and kid, and sooner or later the wife and kid go off on a vacation, and he's there to concentrate on this project that if he succeeds, he's going to get a big promotion, a lot more money. This is the ticket. But there's this nuisance. It starts off small at first, but it's a rat. Okay, it's a rat, and it starts, find some stuff eating up, traps, but then the traps are broken and torn up. Get a cat, the cat gets killed. It mounts up more and more and more and more to the point it becomes a Moby Dick type of just obsession to destroy this thing. And the way I look at it, by the end, he decides the material things don't matter anymore. I'm obsessed to kill this thing. Number one, to prove kind of my superiority, but also I think to protect his wife and kid. His wife and kid are coming home, and there's like a nightmare scene where like he's making love to his wife, and the rat jumps and scratches up her back, or it like jumps out of his kid's birthday cake, and the kid's crying, and Peter Weller's like has this scared look on his face. I think that's where he realizes that his family means more to him than material. What about the luggage? You fuck the luggage. Like that, his family's what means more to him, not, you know, stuff. But really love Of a Northern Origin. I saw that on VHS. I remember not knowing what the hell it was because when you look at the cover, it's very vague. And even the trailer makes it seem like it's a possession haunted house movie. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay. And it just, damn, it's ratcheting up. And there's Peter Weller with a damn baseball bat with nails through it and big old honking traps tied together. Alright. Number 3, it's a cheat because this is a movie in a way because it did go into theaters. Richard Pryor Here and Now. It's a stand-up concert, stand-up comedy, but it did go into theaters. And I love Richard Pryor Here and Now. I wish those would get a Blu-ray, those Richard Pryor stand-ups. That's one way he's in New Orleans, and I don't say this anymore, but back in the day on this channel, I used to say, bullshit my dick. That's from this. Because that's one where the crowd was rowdy and would start yelling shit back to Richard. Is, oh, I cleaned up on drugs, and so does, oh, I don't buy that bullshit. Bullshit my dick. I always cracked up at that. And this is when he was kind of trying to get off drugs and trying to... At least I think it was 83. I looked it up and it said it was 83. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn it said 83 that this was. If so, I apologize. I just moved everything up and put, I don't know, Return of the Jedi at 15. But I think this was 83, and if so, I just had a lot of fun with that. And I miss Richard Pryor, and I had to put that on the list. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a look. And this is a bit more when he was cleaned up, and this, you know, he's doing more of these movies and get more of a cleaned up status. Because then it get to like the late 80s. This is when he had done The Toy. This he would do Superman 3. Then he would do like Moving, Critical Condition, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. See No Evil, Hear No Evil is my favorite of his. With him and Gene Wilder. And that's when he got the diagnosis and kind of the beginning of the end, sadly. But yeah, rest in peace to Richard Pryor. Number 2, Scarface. Scarface, Al Pacino, my favorite Al Pacino film. Epic. I love the performance. I love the Brian De Palma, the feel, the whole feel of the movie with the pieces of music and soundtrack he put into it, the lines of dialogue. First you get the mouth, you know. First you get the money, then you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the women. Say goodbye to the bad guy. You know. Hey, good is Santana. I'm talking about Scarface from 1982, talking about brother Tony Montana. You know. The cockroaches, I bury them. I love it. It might not be realistic, but you know what? It's almost like a gangster comic book in a way, and I enjoy every aspect of that. And number one, I had to pick Uncommon Valor. Love this movie. Ted Kotcheff, the director of First Blood. This is the film he did after First Blood. And it's got a fantastic cast. And I've always said throughout the years on my YouTube channel, this is one of the most underrated films out there. So many people have tried to get to watch this film, and a lot of them, when they see it, they go, wow, this is really good. The cast you really grow to like. I mean, you got Gene Hackman, Tim Thomerson from Trancers, Patrick Swayze, may he rest in peace. We're going to do Dirty Dancing and Red Dawn. You got Reb Brown. You got Randall Tetzkop. You got Fred Ward, may he rest in peace. That would go on to be in Tremors and many other films. Yeah, great score by James Horner. You got, it's an action film, but it's also good dramatic work. The ending definitely gives you the feels. I'll leave it at that. There's not action. It's people going back. Hell, I'll put it here. Gene Hackman is Jason Rose, a man obsessed because for over 10 years his son has been listed missing in action. After useless appeals to the government, he takes matters in his own hands and gets his son's Marine buddies, prepares to carry out a daring mission to go back and find POWs. And from what I understand, this is the first film that was doing that. This is before Missing in Action, before Rambo 2, before POW The Escape. Now, if there are films before it, I apologize, but this seemed like the earliest I can remember that dealt with the whole POW going back to rescue POWs. And like I said, the ending has some good feels to it. It works well. It's funny at times. It's got some good action at times. Since I cannot mention how much I love this film enough. If you have never seen this film, it's highly worth it. It's not action in terms of Missing Action, Rambo 2. It's more, as much as I enjoy those movies, this is definitely more heartfelt. And when you get to the ending, you'll know what I mean. I'll put it that way. But yeah, highly recommend anyone Uncommon Valor. And that is my favorite film of 1983. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.